Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. It's Clobberin time, the weekly week in bullshit of professional wrestling with New Legacy Inc. I'm Johnny, and with me once again, LT Dangerous.
And check out this nerd John Blood. He doesn't even have a microphone.
I should have fucking saw that coming. And Slip Q Slippington.
Hello, chum.
And the song that you're listening to right now is fucking amazing. It's by Shining Wizardoo, our boy Super Blizzard, Summer of Punk. If you haven't checked out Super Blizzard's music, you need to. ShiningWizardoo.com, it's right there. Slip, you should post it in the chat. Go buy his music so we can get a new laptop and make more fucking awesome music like this. And
much love for this guy, he's so great.
He's the man.
Follow him on Twitter,
Yes.
Super Blizzard.
Yes. So, yeah, it's fucking awesome. So, yeah, it's been an interesting week, I guess you could say.
Johnny, is your mic actually on? Because Sprite's making me paranoid.
No, he's an asshole, that's why. It's on.
Bet you're a dickhead.
So yeah, I know specifically LT was anticipating this episode because he's
gosh,
he's a bit frustrated. And I don't know if I'm frustrated or not, or what. I don't know.
I've had a little time to calm down, but it's still annoying what we've seen this week.
Yeah. I guess we can get right into it. Raw this week opened with Triple H coming out. And then followed with, Cena saying, "Oh, we're good," and then Sheamus, "Oh, we're good," and then Punk coming out, which is weird.
And just throws a big old sack of doo-doo all over the whole important storyline, trailing way back to before Money in the Bank.
The way, like, I understand the way it was done. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I understand it in that sense, but I feel like it happened way too soon. I feel like there was so much more they could have done with the whole, like, Punk and Triple H thing, or just, the Triple H Laurinaitis thing. Like, fucking Vince did all this shit for years, and it took until now for him to get, stripped of his position. And Triple H, beats up, Truth and Miz, and now he's stripped of his thing? Like,
yeah.
Who is in charge of this?
I mean, I would like to say that, I'll tell you right now where my problem with this storyline doesn't lie. I don't have any problem with Laurinaitis being the interim Raw general manager.
No, that's fine.
Fine, whatever. I mean, he's pretty much hated by everybody. He gets a hell of a reaction when he comes out, and that's good for TV.
Right.
That's smart.
Right.
My problem with it mostly is it's steamrolling over 3 months of storylines.
Yeah,
we've basically gone from the laptop as the general manager of Raw, the anonymous GM.
Right.
And then we had Triple H. They spent about a month or so building him up, and then after that, he was still the focal point of the show.
Right, exactly.
And it was as if Raw was built around him, and even some episodes of SmackDown. So then along comes Laurinaitis. They put him in the GM position. They start undoing the things that Triple H did as COO. And made the last 3 months worthless, basically.
And it's a shame because we were all hyped for it. I was like, yeah, this is different. And as POD7 said, the entire roster never walked out on Vince before. But Vince did some cruel shit, man. He had people signing contracts in Austin's blood. That's fucking cruel. and Triple H just being a dick here and there is kind of it seems really rushed. It seems
just like Illimind once said, it reeked of last-minute rewrites.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you read the dirt sheets, you know that there's 6 or 7 scripts going around.
Yeah.
When the show was
insane. Anyway.
One of which I'm sure was the Triple H versus Triple H 2 out of 3 H's match.
Oh man, I was bummed that didn't happen at all.
I know, me too.
I mean, I thought the segment itself was kind of funny, like the whole thing with Punk and Triple H, and down the line I could have saw that happening, but now it seems way too soon.
The fact it happened and it wasn't done in a natural way with any real sort of progression character-wise.
Yeah.
Punk. This is difficult for me to say as a Punk fan and a Triple H fan. Basically, in the name of getting Triple H over, Punk has been ruined, basically. Well, I'm not saying ruined. He's not unsalvageable, but he's just become another generic WWE babyface, and that just sucks.
Yeah,
I don't want that. I'm fine with him being babyface. That's great. You know, I want people to cheer CM Punk. I love that. But the fact he's just Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky, hooray, I'm glad to be here and to do my job, and I'm bestest pals with my old buddy Triple H. No.
It's just so awkward, really. The Punk commentary thing was fucking awesome, though.
Punk is... Do you know, honestly, Punk is the best color commentator they've had since JBL, and he's quite probably better than JBL at that. So, I mean, I would suspect that once Punk's retired from wrestling, he's got a job behind that table. That hopefully will not be very soon, though.
Yeah. So, you know, later on in the show, Johnny Ace announces a couple matches for Vengeance. One of them being, I believe, John Cena versus Del Rio for the belt. And in a way, like, I understand why the match was made. You know, Punk was the guy that got pinned in the Hell in a Cell. So, like, oh, Cena got locked out, he got fucked, so here's a title match. But, like, just the lack of reaction for him announcing that was kind of awkward.
I think it's because the show pretty much epitomized same old shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that's a phrase that people throw around in reference to WWE plenty, but it just was, and I think people are sick of seeing the same matches over and over again. And Del Rio looked like shit the last time he and Cena went one-on-one. It was a great match. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. But the fact Cena went over, and he went over clean, it demolished Del Rio, and he's not really recovered from it.
Yeah, as Iron Fury said, it was telling, you know, that the crowd didn't care, like, and I don't really blame that on Laurinaitis. And I like Laurinaitis. I like the idea of him being, you know, a douche. Like that's cool to me. I like making fun of his voice.
It's kind of like a few years back.
Yeah.
I can't remember who Triple H was feuding with, but he came out, just knocked the piss out of this guy, got on a microphone, and all he said was "Hell in a Cell." Like, and people were supposed to pop for that huge. You could hear a pin drop. Because we've seen Triple H in the Cell, so
was it Batista?
I think it was too, yeah. But we've seen that so many times, and this is the same thing. People are sick of seeing the same old crap.
I was just about to say something, and I completely forgot what it was. Oh, yeah. Another thing kind of with the whole Laurinaitis making matches thing, because he made Punk, Del Rio, the main event, and we'll get to that.
Right.
But the commentary throughout Raw, the storied rivalry of CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio. Their entire 2 matches together.
Yeah.
Like, even I don't know what
friends more often than enemies.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I don't know what kind of rivalry there is with Punk saying it was okay that Del Rio cashed in.
Yeah.
Like, where's the issue here? Just that Del Rio's bad guy and Punk's yay, I'm happy babyface.
Absolutely, that's the basis of everything.
Yeah, and
it's traditional WWE hyperbolic commentary for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and with how Punk has been going lately, you would think there would be more to that story, but it's kind of like, this is another match.
Yeah,
a good match, but
yeah,
you know, and then everyone walks back. One of the funniest parts, and me and Slip talked about this, or maybe it was me and LT. When everyone's walking back inside, Sin Cara, both Sin Caras wearing like the same outfit, just different colors, popped to be huge. Thought it was fucking hilarious. Because they're like all dressed up with masks on and like try to be all presentable in different gear, and they still hate each other. They can't even wear matching clothes.
It's like Sin Cara Negra must have followed Sin Cara Azul to the shop. Was like, I want that outfit, but I need it in black. Whatever he's wearing, I will copy it.
And then something I guess we could have expected. John Morrison, faces Christian. They're wearing their street clothes and stuff just right after everyone walks back in.
Street clothes.
Yeah. Morrison loses.
Implying anybody would ever wear Morrison's shirt
on the streets.
It belongs on the street at least. Morrison and Christian have a match, and then Morrison gets fucking murdered by everyone. I don't know who mentioned it, but someone said on SmackDown when they did the 41-man Battle Royal that they would pop huge if everyone hit their finisher on Morrison. Is the writing on the wall for Morrison? Is you guys expecting him to just be gone in the next couple months, or what?
No, sadly.
There's really only 3 ways it can go. Either 1, he's getting jobbed out and he's going. Either 2, he's getting jobbed out just because he's there and they want someone to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Or 3, they're going to turn it into a storyline like he's on a losing streak. But then again, they're doing something pretty similar with Daniel Bryan, and I don't fear for Daniel Bryan's future in the company.
Right.
So,
but do you think he can? I mean, I guess in wrestling you can recover from something like that, but it seems like it's been a really constant thing throughout this whole year, really, with Morrison just not winning. I mean, I don't. Did he get hurt this year? I feel like he did. Did he?
Yes.
Yeah,
well, he was out for a little while.
Yeah.
The R-Truth angle.
Right.
Yeah. He got injured right about the time they were in England, if you remember.
Yeah, and then he comes back, and it's like they didn't even capitalize on that.
Yeah, not really.
Oh, they used it to put R-Truth over.
Right, well, capitalizing for R-Truth, but not for Morrison.
Well, that's kind of what he's doing right now, though. I mean,
just
you have a heel stable, you want them over.
Yeah.
Morrison has the credibility of the live crowds.
Yeah. People do want to
he
like
gets
him.
good enough pops, and if someone does anything bad to him, they get booed.
Yeah, people want to like him, obviously, but it just seems weird. And then we have the whole thing with Orton and Mark Henry and all that shit. Cody Rhodes is the fucking man again this week.
He consistently is just the high point of the shows that he's on. Cody Rhodes just makes me very positive on the future of the industry, you know?
Yeah, while I was watching that, after the match when they were doing the whole thing with Orton, Mark Henry, and Cody, I was like, oh, Orton's just gonna beat them both up, and it's like, oh, great, Randy Orton wins, and it was a big bummer. And then fucking Mark Henry kills him. And I'm like, yeah, this is going somewhere. And then Cody Rhodes fucking puts a bag on his head. I'm like, oh yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Kind of go back to the last thing, the Morrison. Iron Fury has a good comment. Let Morrison be Morrison.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what Morrison is, though. Is the problem? Who is Morrison? Is Morrison what we've been getting, or is that more of the Johnny Nitro sort of?
I feel like the original, when Morrison first came in ECW, and did that kind of stuff. I feel like that was what he was, meant to be. And then they were like, oh well, he's good, so let's make him a good guy, and people will like him. And then the whole thing flipped,
Yeah.
He had a character, and now he doesn't.
He doesn't have the charisma to pull off being a babyface, unfortunately. It's okay that he gets a pop when his music hits, that's fine. And it's fine that the ladies react to his abs, but he doesn't... There's just something about him that you want to hate, and we do that regularly. So.
The Sheamus of sexy.
Oh, Jesus. It's weird, because in the notes here we have, shitting on Morrison and then talking about Cody Rhodes, and a year or two ago, I completely thought it'd be the other way around.
Yeah.
I would not expect John Morrison to be at the bottom of my liked wrestlers list, and Cody Rhodes to be almost at the top. It's weird with wrestling. Just one small thing can flip, or a big thing. Cody Rhodes going through a lot of gimmick changes, but just something like that, it can change how much you like somebody in less than a year. It's weird. The Divas match is, it was. I mean, thankfully, it was somebody else going against Kelly and Eve, and anyone that knows me knows that I do like Kelly, and please hold your weapons. I do like her, but holy fuck, if she continues to scream, I might just have to mute the TV every time I watch a Divas match, or at least the Kelly Match. It's fucking.
So in other words, a Divas
awful.
match.
Yeah, it's really. I don't know where it's supposed to show anger or anything, or if she's just really excited or just so nervous that she just fucking freaks the fuck out every time.
Daphne ripoff.
Isn't everyone a Daphne ripoff at this point?
Yes.
Kelly screaming is a development of her character. I don't know, if her character's annoying cunt, maybe. Which I think a lot of people could get behind. Exactly, you can show anger or aggressiveness without yelling, and I don't even know if she's angry. She's just like, I'm gonna hit you with a bulldog. Ah! Yeah.
She basically comes across as a psychopath.
I know, she's Beth is ending up looking like the sane one in this whole thing, with Kelly flipping out and trying to murder her every match now. And then the whole debacle with Johnny Ace comes out, and I guess I expected this to go different. Once he was coming out and he called Jarrett to the ring, I kind of expected what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But the way JR took it, he just kind of was like, okay. and then walked out. It's like, you're fired. Oh, whatever. I'm used to it by now. Has JR like in kayfabe and out? Has JR been fired the most in WWE history? Because I think so. I can't really think to anyone that comes. I know Foley's been like back and forth a lot. But can anyone in the chat or you guys remember?
It has to be, and it's always in Oklahoma City. It seems like.
Yeah.
And I know I brought this up before.
Yeah, I know they always fuck up there.
But you know, you can always get heel heat when you do something to JR in front of all the Oklahoma Sooner fans.
Well, everybody loves JR. Everybody respects JR, so it's a very easy way of making you boo someone. It's like everybody loved Batista as a babyface, and then he attacks Rey Mysterio, and suddenly he's #1 heel.
Yeah, Tim White tried to fire himself several times as POD7.
Who said that?
POD7
said that.
Nice. So yeah, it's weird. So do you think it's just another thing?
Sauce 100 says he was fired 9 times.
Is that true?
I don't know if that's legit or not.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Sounds almost right.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's accurate.
If you count the time that Kane set him on fire, then you know.
And I saw a lot of people were upset about it, saying, "Oh, they fucked JR again." But I kind of felt it was, Johnny Ace just undermining Triple H again.
And I'm sorry, but that the whole thing, starting with that and going on through the entire show, Michael Cole was just amazing.
He's like, what a douche, but it's so great. Like, he's just shitting on JR completely.
Yes.
But yeah, like I took it as, since I wasn't the first act of Triple H to bring JR back.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And that's
it's like Lawler said. Laurinaitis is going so far as to basically undo everything Triple H has done, which is a neat little thing in the storyline. Were it not for the fact it's undoing the storyline.
Exactly. It's. I mean, I'm sure JR will be back. I mean, at least I feel like he will be.
A lot of people don't seem to be considering that maybe JR didn't necessarily want to be back behind the booth. Bear in mind how long it was since he was at the table before, you know?
Right.
And why he was never on pay-per-view shows or anything like that.
I mean, let's not forget, JR is not a well man, His health isn't as good as it used to be. Yeah. He's probably very burned out from all these years of doing all the shows. Don't get me wrong, he still is the most passionate commentator they have, perhaps bar none. But for his own sake, maybe, just for now, he can stick to doing Legends Roundtable, he can stick to selling his sauce through the shop, fine, just whatever.
When was the last time, I can't really remember, it may have been the last WrestleMania, but when was the last time JR commentated at WrestleMania? Was it the last one?
No, he did not do a single match at the last one.
Because I thought, with the Lawler thing, I thought they would have had him out there, but he was at ringside or something, wasn't he?
Didn't he do... I didn't actually watch WrestleMania this year. I was going to say, didn't he do the main event, or was that the year before?
I can't
he did do one this year, that's right. He was out there for the Lawler match.
Oh, was he? Okay, yeah.
Because he did the Triple H Undertaker match.
Do you think we'll ever...
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's right.
Do you ever think we'll have...
I actually haven't seen WrestleMania this year.
Really? That's surprising. Is there a reason why, or you just haven't felt
because I was watching it, and the first, 300 years was The Rock talking. I thought, nope, bedtime.
Do you think we'll ever have a WrestleMania again where JR is there the whole time, or do you think that's far from happening?
think that's a thing of the past.
Really?
I think, given they wouldn't bring him out to do Shawn Michaels' final match, I think that says it all. He's not doing... I don't think he's doing a full Mania
That's
ever.
a bummer, man.
It is, but, we got to move with the times, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it happens. It definitely happens. It's just a shame,
Yeah.
I mean... It's shame for him, because I think that's pretty much his passion. I'm sure that's all he would like to do, but I guess sometimes you get out of it too. You maybe you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So on to our next topic. It's more specifically about one wrestler that I don't dislike him now. I think he's okay. And this is more of a chat room question, but I do want you guys to let me know as well. Mason Ryan, what do you guys think? Do you like him? Do you think there's room there for him to get, not Batista, because that's the big comparison everyone makes. Do you think he could be a top player at any point, or?
I don't know. I think maybe he'll be given that opportunity, but whether or not he'll be ready for it, I don't know. He's still fairly sloppy in the ring. He's a little bit green around the edges.
Yeah.
His promo work.
Good.
candy addiction. He's green. The only reason he looks good is because of the talent he's in the ring with.
Yeah.
And they put him with Ziggler a lot.
And that is, I mean, that is good from Ziggler. Fucking,
I think that should say it all, because Ziggler, I think most people backstage would perhaps be well aware of Ziggler's talent and the extent that can cover.
Well, here's another question. Do you think that he's played both roles kind of so far. Do you think he's a better heel, or have we not seen him as much as a heel, or do you think right now where he is as a face is good for him?
I honestly don't think we've seen quite enough of either to make a fair judgment, honestly, because when he was a heel, he was just big, muscly guy who's kind of there.
Well, what would you prefer right now?
I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to give him a shot as a babyface. Maybe I'll warm to him, but he needs to do more than just be smiling Welshman.
Yeah, that's a lot of problem with a lot of wrestlers.
The unfortunate thing is, his accent's quite strong, and while I can understand what he's saying because I'm used to the Welsh accent, that's going to be a big barrier for American fans, I would have thought.
What about you, Slip?
I'm actually going with the chat room right now. Everyone is saying that he makes a better heel, but there are also a good contingent of people saying it doesn't matter, heel or face, he's not that good.
Okay.
No.
And there's a comment earlier, Frederick J. Francis said, if they push Ryan and give him some mic experience, he'll go far. I agree with that. Absolutely.
Has he cut a promo yet in WWE?
Not a good one.
Little bits here and there.
I don't even
He had
know
some
how
with the
sounds.
Nexus, like he said a few lines.
Did he? Okay, I really don't remember how he sounds at all, so I guess that says a lot.
The one thing I will say, though, I actually don't remember if I said this last week. Actually, I might have done, but if I did, I'm retreading old Grando already. Batista, when he first came in, sucked.
Yeah.
And then over time, he got better and better to the point that you could not only tolerate him in the ring, but you could actually enjoy him depending on his opponent and the match.
Right.
So maybe Mason Ryan, and I am sorry to compare him to Batista, but they are both big, muscly guys, so it's a comparison that works in this case.
Right.
Maybe Mason Ryan's going to be the same story. Maybe, we'll see.
That'd be nice. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, there's I think there's room for improvement, but then again, as it's been pointed out, that has been put with people that can make him look good. But that's wrestling for you,
Well, yeah.
So then we go on to the main event. Del Rio and Punk do their whole thing for a little bit, and then Johnny Ace comes out, stops the match, and reinstates R-Truth and The Miz, which fucking I think is awesome. But then they do they turned it into a tag match, straight up tag team match, and then Del Rio walks out. And I was kind of surprised by it at first. I was like, why is he doing this? But then I remembered, oh wait, he is he's on the side of everyone against, Triple H and shit.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a good fuck you, I guess. They got me on that one with Del Rio walking out, and then I love the team of Truth and Miz though. I fucking think that's awesome.
They're working really well together.
And that's really surprising.
Necro Reefer, are Truth and The Miz the top two heels?
I think so. I mean, I can't think of anyone who is at where they are that get that kind of reaction. I think they are
because of the Punk turn to what he is now, which is the sad, basically face.
Right.
I'd have to say yes. They put everything.
Big Keys mentioned Mark Henry. Mark Henry might be a little bit higher. I don't know.
In the storyline, though, Miz and R-Truth have kind of put everything into motion.
Right.
The reason why everyone walked out no confidence, Miz and R-Truth came back after being fired, beat everyone up.
Right.
They come back, I think, absolutely, I think they are.
Yeah. Someone mentioned Del Rio and Christian. I don't think Del Rio's close to a top heel. I don't think he really gets that much of a reaction.
Through no fault of his own, it's just bad booking that because Triple H is being given the focal point of every episode of Raw, the WWE title's been pushed to the sidelines, and Del Rio's had the belt for a lot of that time. And it's weird that even Cena's not really been in the spotlight as much as Triple H lately.
Yeah. What about Christian though? I do Christian. I mean, the people give him booze. They don't like him. But is he a top heel?
No.
I think he can be if he's booked right. It's like we were saying last night when we were, as I was watching SmackDown, we were saying last night, weren't we? That Christian is one of the top guys, but just when they push him right, because at the moment he's kind of there, just feuding with Sheamus, and it's not a bad feud, but it's not. you feel like both of them should be doing something better,
Right.
through no fault of their own.
Exactly. And it's just there's a lot going on right now in that whole scene, so it might be hard for guys to shine more. I do believe that now that Truth and Miz are back, like I think they are in the front line of that whole anti-Triple H group.
I don't know who that is. Jed Insfull, the moderator there, says
Jade,
that
Jade,
Ricardo Rodriguez is the top heel.
Honestly, he does get a bigger. At least I think that he gets.
True believer. Vicky Guerrero is the top heel.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I didn't.
It's difficult to argue with that.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that because it's fucking really true. Unless as a manager, yeah, Vicky exceeds all fucking heels. But as a wrestler, I might have to give the nod to Truth and Miz.
And of course, the ending is now Truth, Miz, and Triple H Punk at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that match was made. The whole deal with Punk,
which kind of even brings up your whole point about Triple H overshadowing the title, because that match gets the main event, spot on Raw.
It is important.
It's the last of the show announcement, and the WWE title match got absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
and it also further wrecks Punk's character a little bit.
It is an important match, so I kind of see why it'd be paid attention to a little bit more, but I do agree that about the whole WWE title thing. I think it's I'm not used to it that the WWE title isn't the main focus.
One last question, I think we can move on. John Enigma, do you think Triple H heel turn is in the works? They kind of set it up there.
I don't think yet.
I don't think so.
Not yet.
Not yet.
They got the heel faction working.
Yeah, I feel like there's too many heels at this point.
The strange thing is, back before he sort of disappeared after WrestleMania, I would have loved to have seen him turn heel. But now, it's reached the point where he actually needs to stay babyface for a while.
Yeah, and I feel like there's too many
because his character's evolved.
Yeah,
I mean, he as he was before as a babyface, he needed to change or turn heel, and his character has changed. So
Right, exactly. And then with Triple H coming to save Punk and all, and it just I don't know, it still just feels too soon to me, man. It just seems rushed. Like they felt like they had to get through this angle like every week. They just had to move it, fucking 50% each week to go more and more, just to keep people. But they got to a point where it's like, we ran through all of our shit. What do we do now?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a bummer. But yeah, that's so that was Raw. I thought it was a really kind of a boring episode, to be honest with you.
I thought it started out really good.
Yeah,
but then it just lost. Oh,
potentially it could have been great as like a gimmick episode with them having to try to find a way to book it with 4 people. That could have been awesome.
Right.
One last thing, and then we can move on.
Okay.
LT, I'm pretty sure you didn't see the commercial, but Johnny might have, and some of you might have seen it too. But before Raw came on the air, there was like a little 15-second USA ad saying everyone's walked out on Raw. And this goes back to last week. We were talking about how they just forget angles.
Right.
It's for the sake of face and heel.
Right.
It said John Cena, Sheamus, CM Punk are going to be on Raw, which they were.
Right.
But they said Randy Orton.
Oh.
And they said in support of Triple H. Randy Orton and Triple H, of anyone in the company right now, has the longest storied history.
Right.
From Evolution, from like 2003 almost.
Yeah.
Like they tried to kill each other.
Randy Orton, he wasn't part of the walkout, which is so nobody booed him, and I understand that.
Right.
But they would never have Randy Orton be on Triple H's side, and they have they've made that clear in the past.
Right.
Yeah, if they would have went through with that would have just shit all over the last 8 years.
Yeah. It'd be weird, and I'm glad that they didn't do that, but it's weird that they would say he'd be there then. I mean, he was on Raw, obviously, but the way that how you said it, that they advertise it as he's going to be there on the side of Triple H is kind of
They made it seem, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
No.
So that was Raw this week. Nothing to really write home about. Just a normal episode. A little tidbit from this week. Former WWE wrestler Road Dogg Jesse James has signed with WWE as an agent and producer. Not really much to talk about there. We just thought we'd mention it. It's a cool little thing. I enjoy hearing about past wrestlers signing up as agents and producers, because it could help. It helps the talent. It helps with everything.
And it's always nice when there's a big pull apart brawl and you see these old wrestlers come out. You're like, oh hey, that's Sergeant Slaughter or Pat Patterson.
Yeah, exactly. And then this next piece of information, I actually just found it. Like I heard about it, but we weren't going to talk about it, but we decided to throw it on because I feel like it's worth mentioning. Tyson Tomko was recently arrested. He was found in a Chili's bathroom like a Chili's restaurant bathroom, injecting himself with like drugs. And he was arrested. He robbed a CVS. He's gone fucking nuts. Supposedly he's like injected like 170 pills. He melted them down and shit like that. He asked and he took a spoon from the waitress and went into the bathroom and then he flushed it down the toilet and shit. What the fuck? It's really it's weird to see guys that he wasn't a big time player or anything. And he wasn't anyone really, but it's just weird to see guys that you watched on TV for a bit and now they've gotten down to this. I mean, I guess we could have saved this for the thing we're going to talk about earlier, or we can just jump to it about the Scott Hall thing.
Oh, right.
I'd say that's a pretty good lead.
That's really right up the alley.
Pretty much.
But yeah, Tomko. What the fuck did I mean? I guess I mean in wrestling, I guess I should stop being surprised by this kind of shit. But that's not when you think of people going fucking nuts, I didn't really think of Tomko. But then again, I don't really think of Tomko in general.
Well, it sounds to me like he's a man in desperate need of help.
Yeah, it's a shame.
And I can only hope that he will take up the offer that's extended to all current and former WWE superstars and go into rehab on their money.
He did admit his problem, and he admitted everything he did and all. So hopefully that means he'll.
Well, the first step to recovery is admitting you've got a problem.
Exactly.
However, he did not admit to threatening the pharmacist at the CVS. So whatever that's all about.
Yeah, I guess from the robbery or whatever.
Yeah.
So we were going to talk about depressing wrestling stories, and one came up this week. I'm going to show you this video real quick, and then we'll talk about it. So here you go.
I can't tell you not to drink, do drugs. They are fun. It's fun. They work. But what sucks is when you want to quit and you can't. I don't want to die, but I'm not afraid to. Because what's left, man? What do you do when they quit chanting your name?
Wrestling is not killing Scott Hall. Scott Hall is killing Scott Hall. Scott Hall's demons are killing Scott Hall. Things that happened to Scott that had nothing to do with professional wrestling are killing Scott Hall.
The best stories in sports. E60, Wednesday, 8 Eastern on ESPN.
So yeah, next week, Wednesday, you'll be able to see that on ESPN.
I'm going to just say, as probably the person that watches ESPN out of the three of us the most, E60 is a phenomenal show. They will do anything to get the best story.
Yeah.
And it will be an emotional one. They do the way they produce the show is phenomenal. It will be a very hard-hitting piece.
Yeah, it's...
That's actually the first time I've seen that video, and that's really difficult to watch.
It's heartbreaking, man. I mean, it's...
Someone who was one of the best, one of the best in-ring talents that the WWF and WCW had in the early to mid '90s. To see him in the state he's in, and just the really sad thing about Scott Hall is you keep thinking he's hit rock bottom, but somehow he just keeps finding new lows to sink to.
I mean, he obviously he did it to himself, but it's still hard to see, hard to not feel bad for the guy and want him to, get back. You know, it'd be fucking awesome. You know, the Scott Hall, you know, happy story where he got his life back together. But by the look, and we've been hearing it for years. You know, Scott's gone to rehab. Scott's got his shit together, and then, you know, a month or two later,
I genuinely believe, like he suggests in that video, I believe this is a man who wants to get better, but he doesn't have the strength to do it. That's the saddest thing of all.
Yeah.
I think that he either wants... I don't think he necessarily wants to be better. Mm-hmm. I just think he wants it to be over.
Yeah, well, one way or another.
Yep.
And you know,
because like you said, when they stop chanting your name, what's left?
And I'm sure a lot of us have been, you know, every time we hear a Scott Hall story, we expect the worst out of it, and it's a shame, you know, because one of these days we're all gonna be here.
It's reaching that point now where you wonder how long can it be until we read a headline: Scott Hall found dead.
I just have to say, and this is kind of going off of Scott Hall, what Eric Bischoff says, so fucking cheap.
Yeah, seriously, like, Jesus.
It has nothing to do with the profession. Yes, it does.
Like, why?
They were pushed to drugs and alcohol.
How do you think that he got involved with that stuff? Come on.
It is.
Like, it's silly. You know, but that's what, you know, it's people in wrestling for you. They'll do. I mean, you know, sometimes wrestling does get a bad light for shit that it shouldn't, but stuff like that, like, wrestling caused that. Come on.
Yeah. There's no two ways about it. People like Bischoff and like Vince, they are always going to divert the problems away from wrestling. You know, I can understand why they feel the need to do so, but to outright lie and say, "Oh, it's nothing to do with the fact he was a wrestler," it's fucking everything to do with the fact he was a wrestler, and absolutely to do with the people he hung around with. We are very lucky that Shawn Michaels isn't exactly how Scott Hall is right now.
Yeah, I mean, because
very lucky.
And we can only hope that Scott can get his shit together, man.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. We can only hope that he'll get his shit together and not, you know, hear that depressing, heartbreaking fucking headline that LT just said. That.
Yeah, it's awful. I don't like saying things like that, but it's gonna come one day if he doesn't turn his life around.
Yeah. Yeah, as Fitz said, he did it to himself, but the business caused it.
This is the year, and I gotta run, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, see you later, dude.
So on to our next topic. This week,
which is not depressing.
No,
so
this is more of a
yeah.
This is we're gonna happy talk because this is a good thing.
Yeah.
This week,
I was about to say, speaking of incredibly depressing stuff, Slip, your NXT report. But we'll leave that for a moment.
Yeah. So this week, it was announced that this man on your screen will be in WWE 12, which has me fucking hyped. I'm so happy about that. I mean, but I'm happy at the same time sad, because I'm happy that he's in the game, but I'm sad to think that he probably won't be back ever. You know, like...
I know, it's awful, but it is nice to have him back, and it's nice to be reminded of everything that Brock was and everything that Brock did, you know?
Yeah.
Lesnar was the guy in wrestling when he was in WWE.
It was a different way to go with a big guy. Like, he came in, he fucked shit up, and he was the man right away. And
the thing is, well, he was good.
Yeah, he really was. And
there are very few people who, in terms of what they can achieve as a mat wrestler, could match up to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
because of course, let's not forget his spectacular accomplishments as an amateur wrestler.
Right, exactly. And then he did a couple interviews saying stuff about Stone Cold, that Stone Cold fucked him over. They were supposed to have a match with. I think if you guys don't know, around the time they did the whole Austin dropped the ball thing. Austin
I have always taken Stone Cold's side on this because he's right, quite frankly.
Right.
Was he right to walk out? Maybe not, but was he right to do it for the reason he did? I absolutely think so.
Now let me make sure I have the story right. It was they wanted to do Austin Brock on live TV and have Brock go over clean.
On free TV and have Brock go over.
And that's why Austin left?
Yeah, because it was so stupid. And for a long time, Austin had been very unhappy with the way storylines have been going. You remember the chat show they used to have, Bite This?
Yeah.
He appeared on that and he actually said the writing of late was piss poor. Those were his words.
Yeah.
And I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back with Austin. The fact that it's not about Austin, not wanting to put over new stars. Austin has put over so many people in his career.
Right.
Even after his retirement, just by being in the ring with Stone Cold, you get a boost.
Right.
But it was the fact that Austin knew the business. He was the guy. He knew the industry, and he knew that if they gave away Austin Lesnar on free TV and had Lesnar go over, it would be the most ridiculous business decision.
That's a money match, dude.
Absolutely. There are only really, from that time that Lesnar was in the company, there are 4 guys who it would have been interesting to see him go against. Austin, Triple H, who he never faced one-on-one, Randy Orton, and Batista.
Yep.
Although, of course, Orton and Batista, that was before they became big.
Now, do you think that we'll ever see Brock again, even for one more go, or do you think he's done?
Do you know what? Honestly, I would not be surprised. Brock Lesnar is one of those guys who, when he puts his effort into something, when he really gives it its all, he's just excellent at whatever it is that he turns his hand to. The problem is, as I can see it, Brock Lesnar's attention span is tiny.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a guy who devoted all his energies into amateur, so then he turned pro, he put all his energies into that, and then he decided, no, it's not for me, I'm going to go do football. That didn't work out, and then he decided, no, you know what, I'm going to do Ultimate Fighting instead.
Yeah, exactly.
He's doing great at UFC, but how long until he gets bored of that and decides, the pull of WWE is so great, I'm going to go back until, something else comes along.
He's going to go be a cook, obviously.
I'd watch that.
I'd fucking love a cooking show with Brock Lesnar. WWE fucking network, let's get that done.
Gas mark F5.
I guess, if we're skipping around, mentioning WWE Network, I guess we can just jump right into that story. This week, WWE.com is asking fans to help name their another program for the Divas, which me and LT have talked about this, seems stupid. They describe the program as a reality show that welcomes you aboard the private Divas tour bus as it travels from venue to venue. Cameras roll 24/7, capturing the unscripted bonds, battles, and behind-the-scenes drama that only our WWE Divas can deliver when their public and private lives merge on the open road. Now, this is either going to be scripted to fuck and piss everyone off, or it won't be scripted and piss everybody off.
The problem is, it's okay saying the bonds, battles, and behind-the-scenes drama. Out of kayfabe, the Divas are all fucking best friends.
Yeah.
They got rid of the one problem bitch in the backstage area. They fired Melina. All the rest of them love one another, as I understand it. So what battles are we going to see? What behind-the-scenes drama is there? It's got to be scripted, otherwise the show's going to be stupid.
Right, exactly. And even then, is the stuff that's on this show gonna correlate with with the actual Raw and SmackDown or anything, or is it just gonna be kept separate? Because if they're gonna do it, they might as well incorporate it into a storyline. Yeah. Why not? If they're doing that, then I guess it's okay. It'll give them something to do for once, I guess. Besides, I want the belt and I'm a girl. And,
I just can't imagine how we're going to be able to sit through a whole show of just the Divas on a tour bus talking about whatever it is they talk about, and maybe the occasional episode where Kelly goes for a piss in a sink.
Also, talking about WWE.com, this week a DVD was put up for pre-order that I'm fucking ecstatic about, dude.
Me too, and so should every one of you be if you like wrestling even a little, and that's why you're here, so yeah.
Yeah, seriously, the greatest rivalry set between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, 3-disc set, huge fucking DVD, a huge interview in it. I'm hyped, dude. I'm hyped.
It's really going to be good. It's interesting, really, how the relationship between Hart and Michaels really went full circle, because a lot of people don't remember that when Shawn and Bret first got to know one another, they were friends. A lot of people forget that because of how much they fucking hated one another.
Right, exactly.
And it's going to be interesting to see how they progress through that, because the whole thing is basically, as I understand it, it's going to be tied together between matches and stuff, with the two of them doing a big sit-down interview.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how they get from talking about how they were friends, then getting to how they fucking hated one another, then talking to how they, as a pair of old men, buried the hatchet.
Now, I believe JR hosted the interview. I don't know exactly how long the interview is. Do you remember?
I don't recall off the top of my head. To be honest.
think it's I mean, a 3-disc set. It has to be, a good amount of time.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Which is good.
I'm fucking hyped for it. You know how hyped I am for it?
How hyped are you for it?
I'm so hyped that we're gonna fucking give away a fucking pre-order for this at the end of the show.
Oh my goodness.
One of you people in the chat tonight will be able to win a copy of this fucking DVD. That's how fucking excited I am for it, goddammit.
Just before any of you ask, it will be the DVD version. We're not going to give away Blu-ray.
Yeah, DVD, but you don't fucking need Blu-ray. Fuck Blu-ray.
Yeah. This is going to be... well, it's going to be open to anyone who's in Britain, because I'm going to handle that if one of the British people win it.
Right, America, obviously.
How are you for handling the rest of it?
That's good. U.S., Canada. I don't know. I don't think we have many fans elsewhere. But if it comes to it, we'll figure something out.
So pretty much North America, Britain, you're safe and sound. But any of the rest of you, we'll try and figure something out for you.
Yes, exactly. But stick around to the end of the show, and that's when that will happen. Slip isn't here at the moment to do the NXT Superstars report, so I guess we can just move on to FCW.
Yeah, FCW. I liked it this week. This was good stuff.
I enjoyed it. I'm a fan. They have me hooked every week. Before we get into the show, though, I want to mention this week a new superstar was added. Superstar, a wrestler, whatever they call their guys down there. A new guy was added to the roster, Jake Carter. Now, I know that name isn't familiar with any, it doesn't ring a bell. It's Vader's son. Jesse White. Yeah, Jesse White is now on the FCW roster, so we'll be seeing him in the next couple tapings. I think that'd be good.
I wonder how that'll pan out. Then.
I'm a Vader fan, and I'm hoping I can be a fan of Vader Jr.
It's difficult not to be a Vader fan. How do you not like someone who goes out and fucking murders?
Him beating the fuck out of Ken Shamrock is still one of my favorite stories of all time.
I mean, that's the match that Foley lost his ear and he was fighting Vader, wasn't he? Do I remember right there?
I think that, unless I'm thinking of another match. Was that the match? Is anyone?
There was a match that Foley had with Vader where Foley took a fucking Vader bomb on the concrete floor.
Yeah, people were saying that was the match. Yeah.
And fucking Foley nearly died and bled all over the fucking place.
That's
and then
awesome.
WCW couldn't show it because of the blood.
Hopefully that maybe they'll release it now. We should get a Vader set. That'd be awesome. I want a Vader set. Someone make that happen.
I think it's actually on Mick Foley's Greatest Hits and Misses. I don't remember how edited it is, but yeah, definitely get it.
Okay, cool. So getting into the show, last week we mentioned about the Ascension. Still awesome. Fucking just as a group.
And this week, according to what was said on commentary, this was their in-ring debut as a group this week.
And they're just every week, I have been watching for long, but so far I'm impressed with them, man. I love the group. I love the idea of the group, and it's fucking awesome. Fucking Raquel Diaz works as their manager, and fucking one guy that I'm really impressed. Yeah, Ricardo Rodriguez wasn't there. I'm not sure why. If anyone knows, let us know.
It depends when they were taping it, of course, because he might have been on pay-per-view or something.
Yeah. Oh, someone said that Vader broke Foley's nose. I'm not sure.
Nice.
I'm not sure what about the ear though.
Oh, that's probably the match from the concrete powerbomb.
Okay.
I think I seem to remember him breaking Foley's nose because Foley told him to break his nose, if I remember.
What?
Because Foley's fucking mental.
Oh my God.
In case you didn't know.
Jesus. Yeah, we can just assume that Vader broke fucking everything, and that'll be the end of it. So yeah, Raquel Diaz is a good manager. She does her shit well. One guy that I do feel like that needs to be mentioned, who is completely flipped in my mind. Another guy that just like that, fucking I'm a fan of, fucking Conor O'Brien.
Yeah, I mean, Conor O'Brien sucked when he was on NXT4 and when he was on NXT5. He wasn't much better.
Right.
But what he did on FCW really sort of went to winning me around. He didn't even mention cheese, not even once.
No, he's this fucking demented guy, and he fits the role really well. And I'm really surprised by it.
And Tito Colon was also in the match. He was quite cool.
Yeah.
Who is the other guy? That's going to bug me.
His name is, fuck, I seriously just watched it earlier.
Because he was fucking cool.
Oh, Keith Cameron, I believe. Keith Cameron is his name. Or Kenneth Cameron. Kenneth Cameron. That's it. There we go. Sorry.
He was great. My favorite part of the match, and Johnny's favorite part too, I believe, it was heel tag team bullshit, but it was fucking brutal, and everything they did was legal. They had, what was the guy in the crazy silly pants? His name CJ Parker? Is that it?
CJ Parker.
Yeah, he had tights, and they were like fucking ridiculous, and he had a big silly smiley face on it, and we would just call him Mr. Silly Pants while we were watching. They had CJ Parker down in the corner, and they were just between Kenneth, Connor, and Tito. They were just tagging and tagging and tagging, and then each of them just kicking the fuck out of CJ Parker, and then tagging out, and then kicking the fuck out of him. And it just went on for ages.
They stomped the fuck out of him for a good 2 minutes. It was fucking awesome.
It was great because, like, the way they did it, they didn't break the rope 5 count, and they didn't break the tag 5 count. It was just constant beating the shit out of him, and it was awesome.
It was fucking tremendous. But yeah, the Ascension is a group that you guys should check out. Slip?
I agree.
There you go.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
We moved on. We'll get to Slip's NXT and Superstars report after we talk about FCW.
The Ascension. Yes, agreed.
Yeah,
Approved.
you saw the spot that we were talking about where they fucking stomped the shit out of him in the corner. Fucking great. And another thing that they did that I wanted to mention.
Everyone is just going nuts on the apron.
Yeah, fucking at the end of the match, fucking I think Connor O'Brien was going for a pin, and Tito and Kenneth are freaking the fuck out on the apron, like climbing the ropes and shit and going nuts.
Kenneth was going for the pin.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah. They were just Raquel Diaz is freaking out on the outside. They're just lunatics, and it's fucking awesome. If you get a chance, guys, go check out their match from the October 9th episode of FCW.
See if I can find it on YouTube.
Yeah. And then we get on to the... whoa, my mic. We get on to my mic falling off of my head. We get on to the Divas match, or what do they call them in FCW? I can't fucking remember.
I think it's Divas.
Is it Divas? Okay.
As I understand it, they made a lot of their lingo match WWE.
That's good.
FCW Universe.
Fucking AJ on commentary. I thought at one point Rigo was gonna stab fucking AJ in the eye.
He had a look in his eye that he was just so pissed off to be sat next to AJ.
That link in the chat will link you to the 10/9/11 FCW.
There you go.
That's part 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going to be in the side.
It looked like he was gonna stab her in the eye with his fucking pencil.
Yeah. The thing that really... AJ was wearing... she was doing the thing that CM Punk does on commentary, t-shirt and suit over the top. Mm-hmm. But the t-shirt had fucking Pikachu on it for some reason. Just to be like,
because
hey, guys,
she's a nerd, remember?
I'm a girl.
Not to mention, she was carrying on like a picture of herself or something.
I think that was a picture of Maxine.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Oh, I don't get it. Is there?
I think it was Regal's.
It was Regal's picture of Maxine?
I think so.
What the fuck? By the way, Regal
is
my
first ever episode. I don't pretend to understand what's going on.
Regal is still fucking crazy on commentary, by the way. I'd just like to point out he's still nuts this week. I don't know what's the deal. And then...
but honestly, though, AJ spoiled our enjoyment of 2 matches.
And then we get on to... And we'll throw this picture up, and then our reaction will, I'm sure, entice some of you to join in. But, oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Seriously, the most racist tag team.
Byron Saxton ain't gonna die when he hears, "Let me get him in his house. Let me get him in his house, baby."
Their gimmick is seriously like they're hood rats, and it's fucking hilarious. Their gimmick is pretty much Keisha Fabo. If you haven't seen those videos, look them up on YouTube. Keisha Fabo.
Yeah, because like I was watching and Johnny was like, if I remember right from the notes, this is what's coming up is the most racist thing in wrestling. I was like, well, that's covering a lot of ground. I don't believe that. And then fucking Keisha Fabo and Brett Kwanda walk out. I'm like, oh, okay, you're right. This is pretty goddamn racist.
The guy in the middle is Byron Saxton. He's been injured.
He looks like he's embarrassed to be there.
Dude, he was so pissed the whole time.
Stumpy McGodas, is that Percy Watson on the left?
Oh yeah. He wasn't on this episode, surprisingly enough. So yeah, that match happened
as well.
What's that?
Naomi's ass is gigantic.
Yeah, seriously. By the way.
LT, gigantic.
LT, I found out from Slip that the chick that she faced was trained by Lance Storm.
Yes, her name is Taylor Tennille.
Yeah, she was trained by Lance Storm. It didn't look like it.
No.
What shit happens. And then there was a thing with Maddox. I know Slip wasn't too big on this interview. Maddox did an interview with Briley Pierce where they went back and forth with each other, leading to Maddox challenging Briley Pierce and stealing the microphone away. I still love Brad Maddox.
They had such a good back and forth.
I know Slip wasn't big on it though.
No.
Brad Maddox suggested that Briley Pierce had only just hit puberty, so Pierce responded that Brad Maddox had only had puberty on his chin.
I thought it was funny.
It was just great.
Yeah. Brad Maddox.
Looks like he shaved a beaver and glued it to his chin.
Hey, we didn't say he didn't look silly, which is how I liked him.
But then, he took the microphone off of Briley Pierce, which is good because Pierce was holding it totally wrong. We couldn't hear a fucking thing.
Yeah,
he was
seriously.
saying.
Yeah, seriously.
But then he was like, "I'm going to take this," and just walked off with the microphone.
I thought he was just going to hold it and talk, and then he's like, "I'm going to take this," and then just slowly walks away.
And Pierce just stood there like, "Damn, this sucks."
Awkward, damn it. And then Calvin Reigns faced what's his name? What's his FCW? I know Alex Kozlov is his name. Peter Orlov. Peter Orlov. Okay match. It was just really Calvin Reigns beating the fuck out of Peter Orlov.
It was definitely a squash match.
And then hitting the worst finisher since the Overdrive, I think. It's close. It's seriously...
It was a cross between Wasteland and an Otunga Spinebuster.
It's like something that was made in a SmackDown game. It was bad.
It was a creative finisher.
It really was.
It was a Fireman's Carry Alabama Slam if people want to imagine it.
Yeah, I see, like, the way you describe it, I can't even imagine it, but
But you're right.
Well,
that's
it's
thing.
It's bad.
It didn't make any sense the way he lifted him onto his shoulders.
Yeah, if you guys go check that out, Slip linked it earlier. If you got the link, still Slip.
Yeah. This is the part 1. You can find the other parts through that.
Just to see the move is.
And also, AJ was on commentary for that match.
Yeah, it made it even better.
Yeah, no, and they kept referencing that the play-by-play guy had her in handcuffs. It was really awkward.
I missed that part.
Oh,
did it?
Probably because the two of us were raging so much about her being on commentary, we were talking over her.
It looked weird, but and then we get on to the main event, which was really good.
By the way, the play-by-play guy looked like American Lance Storm. I'm sorry, he looks just like Lance Storm.
He's a Josh Matthews light. Yeah, Dean Ambrose, Leo Kruger, Husky Harris, and
Leo.
someone
Sando.
Indio, yeah.
Who? Oh, yeah. Damien Sam. Yeah, right.
Damien, that's it.
Right. Good match.
And mercifully, AJ was not on commentary.
Thankfully, yeah. And so I apologize for us forgetting the names of. I'm sure you guys can't blame us with how ridiculous some of them are. So please excuse us. He does have an awesome team.
They featured Maxine, Oksana, and Richie Steamboat.
Yeah, which is
we
weird.
didn't really get that, did we?
No.
Okay, I'm about to say, was it because it's my first episode I don't get what's going on?
No, because Richie Steamboat was a good guy. The thing is, Oksana's been going around trying to get with the champion. So but I don't know why she was with Richie. I think maybe Richie's next in line for a title shot or something like that. But Oksana's trying to fuck all the champions.
After Maxine being really pissed off with Richie last week, I don't get why they were sat next to one another.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Richie Steamboat, I think you would have a difficult time turning him heel because he doesn't look like a heel.
He looks like a good guy. I want to like him.
Looks exactly. But it's like, why was he there? Why was Oksana there?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Maxine had a right to be there as the general manager of the show. She has a vested interest in seeing who becomes the champion. But I don't get why the other two were there.
I mean, I guess we'll find out on the next episode. But I really liked the match. I thought it was good. It
was really good.
There was one spot where I don't think Ambrose was a part of it. Leo Kruger and Damien Sandow was going, like, one of them tried to do a sunset flip, and like he stood his ground, and then Husky like grabbed the legs of the other guy and did like a fucking catapult into the dude's balls. And it was the best. And then he did like fucking 3
Manhattan drops, inverted atomic drops, whatever you want to call them.
Ball sack parade.
Ball sack parade.
And then pounced them all, and it was fucking awesome. Husky seems like he lost a little bit of weight too.
Yeah, Husky. Even when back in NXT too, I remember. Johnny, I think Husky was pretty much your favorite on that show.
Yeah.
And it didn't take me long to sort of become one around him. Husky is very good.
Yeah.
The fact that he's a chunky guy, I think, People sort of, underestimate him for that.
Yeah.
He's very good in the ring.
What's up, son?
They had the posters up of all the former champions in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And does no one question why Jeff Hardy is his brother?
What?
It's the Bo Rotundo picture looks like Jeff Hardy.
I was most upset to see that they gave Alex Riley the belt.
Jason Ryan's okay with the belt, but Alex Riley?
I do like the banner thing. I just wish they would change them up a little bit because they're pretty outdated. There's like one of those Kozlov there.
How old is that?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Ambrose still the man. Slip. I think this might be the first time you really saw him in general. What did you think?
The fact that he's introduced from Cincinnati, Ohio, made me know he was a heel because nothing good comes from Cincinnati. Just throwing that out there.
Fair enough.
He was okay. He wasn't really the focal point of the match.
Right. Yeah. He did stay outside a lot, and I don't know if that was on purpose or if he's hurt or something and couldn't work a lot or anything. But
the spot him and Husky Harris worked with Richie was all right.
Yeah. That's something.
It is worth pointing out that one of the reasons Richie was there was to play into what's obviously going to become a storyline. Mm-hmm. It's just the fact that that's the only way they did it seems strange, but because towards the end, Richie accidentally superkicked Husky in the mush and knocked him out.
Yeah, he saved him from getting hit with a chair by Ambrose, and then Richie went to superkick Ambrose. Ambrose ducked and he hit Husky, but Richie seemed happy about it afterwards.
And I like the fact that Ambrose just kind of looked back, looked down, and then just ran to the ring.
Yeah. He was like, "Whoa, shit! I'm gonna go fucking win now." It was really good. It's just, as I said last week, it's just the little things that Ambrose does that makes him like it just puts him over the top a little bit more than everyone else. But
that didn't happen.
Fuck you. Good episode though.
And of course, we have a new Florida heavyweight champion.
Yeah, Leo Kruger.
Leo Kruger is the 13th ever.
Yeah, supposedly he's the 13th ever. Weird commentary.
Which is the weirdest thing Matt Martellaro could have possibly said. Leo Kruger is the 13th ever Florida champion. Just the 13th.
Yeah.
Okay?
13th ever. He's the 13th champion ever.
Ever.
But yeah, that really not my pick to win.
No, I think of the four in that match, he was the one I was perhaps least enthused about. His look is just
he's
generic.
just Gabriel Jr.
Yeah,
but as I did point out, at least he wasn't wearing black gear. So.
Yeah, I was honestly I was expecting Ambrose to win, but I guess they have other plans with him. And then Husky, I guess since they're doing shit with him and Richie, that really just leaves Leo Kruger to take the belt. I mean, I'm not going to shit on him.
Did we already go over? Yes, we have one more thing about FCW to go over.
Oh no, I mentioned the.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I started off with that. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's cool. I am hyped to see fucking Vader Jr. It's gonna be awesome.
Did you already talk about the Diva thing?
Yeah. What Diva thing?
The show.
Oh yeah, we did that too. We skipped around just so we. I talked about the DVD as well, just so we could save you time for.
I have a suggestion for the name of the show.
Do you?
Whores on Board.
Tremendous.
Thank you.
I think if they've got any sense, they'll debut Vader's son and call him Skywalker.
Tremendous. So talking about shitty Diva shows, going to this week's episodes of NXT and Superstars, as we did last week, me and LT decided not to fucking watch the shows, and we appointed Slip to watch the shows this week. So, Slip, what happened this week on NXT and Superstars?
Well, as you know, every Tuesday night,
yes,
I go make my popcorn. Nice graphic, by the way.
Thank you.
Wait, hold on. I've not got the stream running. Okay.
I didn't even talk anymore.
NXT vs. Superstars.
So go ahead. What happened on NXT?
Well, every Tuesday night, I pop my popcorn.
Yeah.
Get my sodas. I sit down. I turn my TV to Sci-Fi.
Oh. What are you in England?
Yes.
I don't think they have Sci-Fi there.
And I watch my NXT.
Oh, okay.
So, I watch every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
On Sci-Fi?
Yeah. So go ahead.
And it no-showed.
What?
NXT did not show up.
What the hell?
It was not on my Tuesday night Sci-Fi.
So we don't have an NXT report for this week?
And No.
What about Superstars?
No
then?
joke.
Superstars then?
I was pissed. Fuck Superstars.
What? You didn't
What?
watch that either?
No!
How can we go through our episode without knowing what happened on NXT and Superstars?
Like this. So anyways, let's move on.
Well, Slip, I have some good news for you.
Oh, what's that?
NXT is on Wednesdays.
What?
Yeah, it's on
WWE.com.
It's on Wednesdays now on WWE.com.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can watch it next week. Yay! Oh. All right. Anyway, I guess we should go on to the next.
Wait, before we do, I think there's something that we almost brought up last week, but I think we forgot to mention it.
What's this?
A very important news item in women's wrestling. That being, of course.
So anyway, right. So TNA, we're going to talk about TNA now. So this week on TNA, it started with Robert Roode and Kurt Angle having a thing going on. It was cool, back and forth with Kurt Angle and Robert Roode. And TNA fans fucking love Robert Roode.
Yeah.
They really dig him, and I'm kind of surprised by that.
Which provides enough proof that Hulk Hogan is not a TNA fan.
Yeah. Oh God. Should we mention that? I guess. I guess
think we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to mention this in a big umbrella thing.
All right. Okay. So Hogan was on Howard Stern this week, I believe it was this week, and Howard asked Hulk about the event Bound for Glory. That is, Hogan says it's going to be Hulk taking on this guy, and then Hulk said that the main event is Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is taking on some other guy. Hogan said he's running this wrestling company for a while now, and he's willing to fight this guy, Sting, for control of the company.
This guy, Sting.
This guy. So a lot of guys are going to be at this pay-per-view, but they're not really important. You know, Hogan's going to be there, so that's all that really matters.
A lot of penis is going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So, Philadelphia, Dick is coming.
I believe that AJ actually shit on Hogan because of that on Twitter today. He said something to the extent of
AJ Styles, not AJ Styles.
Yeah, AJ Styles. Sorry, I didn't feel like anyone would give a shit about the regular AJ to even think I was talking about that. Yeah, AJ said something to the extent of fuck Hogan for like not putting over the company, because that's pretty much shitting on the company. Like, oh, it's this guy and that guy. Like, Robert Roode, I guess I can understand. I can't really, because fuck Hogan for doing that. But like, if he's gonna forget a name, I understand Robert Roode. But this guy Sting, like, how is that
the guy that Hogan has worked with for a very long time in WCW?
Exactly.
This guy Sting,
this
like
guy.
you just met him.
No regular guy, just this guy Sting. But fucking unbelievable that it's stupid. It's really dumb. Like, I understand. Like, I mean, I guess it's nice that he's being truthful for once. That's cool. But like, don't shit on your company, Jesus.
So I guess you can go with this, or you can go with that.
It boggles my mind that Hulk Hogan keeps getting allowed to do these shows when all he ever does is shit all over TNA's young stars.
It's
when he's on any radio show, it's always these young guys, they're not a draw, brother. They'll they can't main event worth a shit.
POD7 says Hogan was on ESPN like 3 times in the same day and did a pretty good job putting it over. Though out of those 3 times, I think he may have said Rude once on accident. So it just goes to show you the Hogan's mentality with this stuff. It's Jesus. Guys, talk about the Hulk Hogan Connect game that got a 1 out of 10 from Game Informer. Says
was that because their scale didn't go lower than 1?
Says Blinky77.
Yes, it does not go lower than 1.
Here, we'll talk about it. It sucks. We don't have
also in that same Game Informer there is
we covered this last week when I went on a big old Connect run.
Yeah, and like
There's a preview of WWE 12. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. And I usually don't shit on games unless I've played them, but no, really, fuck that game though. Really, like, really, fuck it. Like, fuck it.
Sub N64 graphics, lame sound, a terrible engine. It's on Connect. Why would you buy this? Why?
I mean, I guess if you have a Connect and you want to,
I would be quite upset.
If you just have a Connect and like, oh, I like wrestling, then I guess I understand. But why would you buy a Connect in the first place? play it? Oh god, please don't ask me to play it. Oh no.
If you have a Kinect and like wrestling, then wrestle your Kinect.
Watch TV. Like, do something other than that.
Xbox?
Yeah, like do.
Fuck you. That's
please,
what you should say.
Please do something else.
Alright, anyway.
So moving on, there was a big schmaz in the back with AJ, Daniels, and RVD Lynn. RVD and Styles on the same team fighting with Daniels and Lynn. Why is RVD and Lynn still going on? I mean, I really haven't been...
ECW.
Like,
We're still cool, right?
Does anyone...
That's what I said to Johnny last night. Are we in 1996 still?
Does anyone give a shit about RVD and Lynn in 2011? Really?
Well, hopefully you do, because that's on the pay-per-view, which we'll get to later.
That's nice. It's... I mean, and the thing is, like, they went on to have a tag match, RVD and Styles versus Lynn and Daniels, and it was a good match, actually, which is, you know... RVD... Oh, Lynn screwed RVD out the Bound for Glory series. Okay, like... But that's... the thing is, like... Do we want to see that? I mean, can they still go like they could, or...
Well, I'm going to say no, and there's a reason why I'm saying no. And they kind of know that, too, which is why the match is all sorts of gimmicky.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just not something that, like, I really will go out of my way to see. If it's good, then fucking more power to him, really. Honestly, if it's a good match, I'll fucking be glad, and I will rave about it on next week's show. But it's not something I'm like, I really want to see it. But it really was a good tag team match, honestly. I enjoyed it. A lot of back and forth stuff. It ended with AJ hitting a Styles Clash, and good shit. And then one thing that I need to mention, I feel like it needs to be brought up. Christy Hemme fucking sucks.
Well, what specifically this time is she sucking?
At ring announcing, not dick.
She's
sucking at ring announcing.
Well, that makes a change.
Yeah,
that changes that sentence a lot.
Someone says,
she's also bad at her job.
DBM says Johnny sounds so disappointed about TNA. I'm not disappointed. It's just okay. Maybe I am.
That was from Iron Fury, by the way.
Yeah. Christy Hemme sucks at fucking ring announcing. She needs
Christy's tips on how to ring announce.
She doesn't sound excited.
Is that true, Cindy?
And when she does, she's shitty. She gets paid more than anyone else in the company. Is that true?
I wouldn't be surprised.
What the fuck?
It's true. Okay, I need a source on that.
If anyone can find out where it is that it says that what Christy's pay is.
There are very few ring announcers that are particularly great.
Yeah.
Fink, obviously awesome.
Yeah. Chimmel's good.
Chimmel, brilliant.
Justin
Roberts is just so great.
I've never been a fan of Lillian Garcia, honestly.
I know.
I
liked Lillian. She's the only female ring announcer I've ever enjoyed.
This is from...
Go ahead, sorry.
Savannah was fucking awful. Eden's dreadful.
Yeah. Go ahead, Slip.
From April 13th, 2010.
Okay.
The Honky Tonk Man, which that's a credible source, said that Christy Hemme's 3-year deal with TNA is worth $175,000 a year, far more than any other knockouts are earning.
Wow. Huh. I really don't know what to say about that. I saw earlier. I don't remember. I didn't see who asked. But they said TNA better or worse in the last 2 years.
I saw that question too. I'll find who did it.
Yeah.
Somehow
I
worse.
think honestly, I think better in some ways. Some ways worse too, though. I guess it's
not across the board worse, but overall worse.
There's a lot of shitty things, but sometimes there's a ray of sunshine.
See, I as much as I want to say worse, I actually have to say better.
Really?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because in 2 years ago, what were we seeing? Jarrett, Sting, Angle.
Okay.
Booker T maybe still there.
Nash.
Who do we have headlining a pay-per-view finally now?
Yeah,
Hogan, a TNA guy.
Hogan,
but still, we got a TNA guy there.
Right, yeah, exactly, and that's nice. It's there. I mean, I guess there's always going to be a positive and negative with any wrestling company, and you could probably say the same about WWE for the past 2 years.
I have to say this is a welcome improvement in my opinion, and the fact that we actually, and it sucks because it's not going to stay around.
No.
Unless Dave, if you're listening.
Well, yeah. I guess we can bring that up now. Former WWE writer and Ring of Honor director Dave Lagana, I believe that's how you say it, announced on his website that he has signed with TNA. He's going to be the director of creative writing, which I don't know if that puts him right at the top for that shit. I mean, director.
I assume if he's the director, he's the head.
Yeah, I would assume, but
makes sense.
With TNA, it's he might be at the bottom of the barrel. Who knows? But yeah, his duties will be to focus solely on the development of new wrestling shows beyond the Impact Wrestling show. And I was excited. Like anyone new, I guess I'll give a chance. But then I read on about it, and it seems like they brought him in because they're launching a new wrestling project in India. They're going to be doing I don't even know if it's going to connect to Impact Wrestling at all. It will tape for a week in December and again for a week in January 2012.
What's the Grand Dalip doing in the Impact Zone, Mike, you cocksucker?
Yeah, he'll be writing the project, weekly series for the Indian market, and will not use the TNA brand. Sanjay Dutt is going to be involved with it.
Spoilers: Canadians posing as an Indian's going to win.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's the only thing he's going to be brought in for. I don't know how much of an influence he'll have on the actual Impact Wrestling show, or if this is all he's going to be assigned to do. But I was looking up about him, and I do know he was fired from WWE for leaking news to wrestling sites. Stephanie,
but it's okay, because if he wants to leak storylines to wrestling sites about TNA, all he has to do is write stories that say, morale in TNA is said to be very low at the moment.
Captain Catpiss says, the thing I mostly hate about TNA is that they have more chit-chat than wrestling. Storylines, then it's like wrestling. TNA, not Total Nonstop Action, more like TNC, Total Nonstop Chit-Chat.
I can
That be true about both the WWE and TNA.
Yeah, exactly.
Although, didn't TNA have something like 8 backstage segments in a row on a
I've seen shows on TNA where they've had less than 10 minutes of in-ring wrestling.
I do remember that. I do remember that. It's but again, sometimes it's good that they do it because, pushing storylines is a great fucking thing, but sometimes they do it for stupid shit that no one cares about, and it's just like, fuck that.
I forgot Suicide's gone.
He baked a pie and then left. Talking about the Christy Emmy thing came out because she was introducing Samoa Joe for his match. What the fuck happened to Samoa Joe?
Seriously.
What? That guy was like someone that everyone was raving about. Joe was the guy that everyone was looking at, Like, I think he was a guy that TNA should, were at one time trying to push it. He had a fucking, 2-year undefeated streak or some shit like that? Like,
and it still bugs me how they gave that to Angle.
Yeah,
Angle ended the
I know.
streak. That still pisses me off.
He didn't need that.
No.
The
weird thing with Joe is, there was a point a few years back, Foley was telling Vince, get this guy.
Yeah.
He's one of CM Punk's buddies, so obviously Punk's probably said, get Samoa Joe on board.
Right.
And yet, WWE have never shown an interest, really.
Yeah.
And the longer he stayed in TNA, the worse he's spiraled.
Yeah. Now people are saying that the way he was booked kind of pushed him to stop caring.
Which I can understand.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that from the things he says on Twitter.
Right, but do you think he should have just left by now? Or do you think it's just he's doing it at this point just for money, just for a contract?
The thing that gets me is Samoa Joe's been so pissed off about TNA for so long now. Yeah. He's made it very public.
Yeah.
He's even been suspended for it at least once, hasn't he? Being just so arrogant about how he hates working for him.
Yeah.
And then he goes ahead and signs a new contract.
And the way I said it, I know I said he's doing it for money, and I didn't mean that he just, he doesn't want to wrestle anymore, but do you think he's staying in TNA just because it's guaranteed money? But, I mean, he's Samoa Joe, so maybe, he is Samoa Joe, I guess, he would get guaranteed money working on the indies, but I don't know what he's making in TNA, really, but it just seems like he's going nowhere fast. He's been on a losing streak lately, if I'm remembering correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole fucking ninjas thing they never explained. He fucking got kidnapped by ninjas. What happened? I don't know.
Nation of Violence and ended up being Taz.
Taz?
Yeah.
I don't think Taz kidnapped him because Taz was on commentary talking about it.
No, he was his manager for like 3 matches.
Yeah, but that was when he first came in, right? Because then Joe got kidnapped by ninjas, and Taz was like, "Oh, I called him and left him a voicemail, and he's not getting back to me."
Oh,
Better do commentary.
He got fucking kidnapped. That's why. But yeah, it's a shame because Joe was really good, and I still think Joe's good. I just think it might be past the point where TNA. I mean, it's wrestling, so anything can happen. But it kind of seems past the point where TNA gives a fuck about Joe.
And I think it's past the time Joe gives a fuck about TNA.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
One funny thing that I wanted to point out, they were doing a thing where they were saying, what match are you looking forward to the most for Bound for Glory? And it was Twitter answers, and someone named Velvet Sky Fan says they're looking forward to the Knockouts match the most at Bound for Glory. Fucking Velvet Sky needs to stop signing up on Twitter with alternate accounts and spamming the TNA Twitter, because that's fucked up. No one's fucking looking forward to that match. Come on. Not even in a sexist way I'm trying to say that. No one fucking cares about that match.
That's not true.
No, you don't care about that match.
I do, actually.
No, you don't.
I like Katrina Waters, and I like Madison Rain, or Ashley Lane, whatever you want to call her.
Who the fuck is Katrina Waters?
Winter.
Oh. I was like, what the fuck? Did they switch the match on me?
I knew who he was talking about.
But like, have they given you a reason to care? Is what I mean. Like, as a
given me a reason to care. Besides the fact that I do think that women's wrestling is underrated when it's done right.
Right. Like, say for someone like me, like someone that like just watches and wants to be sucked into a match. Do you think they've given enough reason for me to give a fuck about this
Absolutely not.
match?
They never will do that with women's wrestling mainstream, because all they think they're going to do is that they're going to generalize it down to the least common denominator, which is tits.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They haven't given me a reason to care, really. I mean, like, and the Karen Angle thing I think is cool. I like Karen Angle. I think she's really good on the mic and shit. Right. But it just seems thrown together. I knew the whole. I mean, they've been feuding, but it's who cares. Like.
And the sad thing is, it's probably going to end with either Mickie James winning the belt again, or it's going to end with Velvet Sky winning the belt finally. But we'll get into the picks later.
It's probably going to be Velvet, but we'll go on. Knockouts. At some time, knockouts were awesome, and that was one of the high points of the shows.
The Awesome Kong.
Yeah.
You had Daphne.
Right. It was
Daphne had some good matches.
There was
Taylor Wilde was good.
There was a lot of good shit, and it was even Gail Kim. And I know that's blasphemous for me to say now. Yeah, exactly. It's just, but yeah. At this point, they announced that the Hogan Sting contract signing. They announced, and I wrote down, this will not end up going badly, in a sarcastic way, obviously. Velvet Sky shouldn't talk. I don't really need to get much into that. I'm sure you guys understand that she does not know how to cut any kind of promo. I mean, I don't. What's her character? Like, what is she? Is she just Velvet Sky?
She's face bitch.
She's just Velvet Sky?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, her fucking...
it's the same beautiful people persona, just with people cheering her now.
Up against Karen Angle, especially, she looked silly, talking, because it was like, I don't like you, and Karen Angle's like, you're a dumb whore. like, it was great, but like, it was great for Karen Angle, not, Velvet, who might be the next champ. And then we get on to the end of the show, the contract signing. As Hogan got in the ring, there's a sign in the crowd that said, I puked a little, which I guess speaks for itself. It was awkward because, how normal, wrestling contract signings, one guy, there's a table in the middle, one guy sits on one side, one on the other, and then the announcer at the, the front side of the table. This time, Sting and Hogan are on the same side, with Jeremy Borash in the middle of them, and it was like a grumpy couple like having lunch together. it was silly. And then they signed the contract, yada yada yada. And then Jeremy Borash asks if Sting or Hogan have anything to say. Sting says no, and then Hogan. I really recommend going to see this. Hogan slowly, and as slow as possible, gets out of his chair and slowly flips the table over with not a care in the world. Like, not even in an angry way. Not like flipping it over like, fuck you. He just flipped it over like, there's a table here. Here you go. It's ridiculous. And then he gets on the mic. And one thing I noticed this last week, and I wanted to bring it up this week because I noticed it again. When Hogan was talking, like, it sounds like the crowd is constantly fucking talking and are loud. Do they just dub in all the crowd noise or something? Like, if you can, go back and watch it. Hogan's talking, and you hear just... It sounds like everyone's fucking loud. Like, I know, people will bullshit with each other, but, in WWE, you don't hear, like, a big... It wasn't obnoxiously loud, but it's loud enough you can realize that, hey, everyone's either not fucking paying attention to what Hogan's saying, which is likely, or they dub this in, and it's just weird.
Someone posted a link to to Reddit where there's a GIF of it.
Yeah, Senior Ponage said the building is really fucking small. It makes the crowd sound insane. That might be it.
That's
forgot to turn down the crowd volume. It might be that. It might be something like that. But it's just it was silly to me. It seems weird. The crowd piping is awful. It might be something like that. Johnny, do you get tired of the Fortune and Immoral storylines and feuds? Yeah, so many turns. And I guess we can. I guess I didn't write that down because I fucking forgot or something, or I took it out. Immortal turned on Abyss this week, which is, the 50th Immortal turn, I guess, since their inception. I don't know.
Why is that storyline still going on?
What do they do? Why did they do that to Abyss? Is what I want to know. What the fuck? He's fucking... Face heel, pussy, badass. It's just make up your mind. It's a shame because, like, I like Abyss. I like him. I want him to be a big fucking monster. But at this point, like, it's kind of like Kane. He's kind of turned into a big bitch, and like it's hard to believe him. Same with Anderson. Anderson's turned a million times. It's just like, what, like, make up your mind. Like, am I supposed to like this guy, or, like, there's too many shades of gray with Abyss. Like, he's just fucking silver now. Like, just let me like him or dislike him for, longer than 3 months, and then we'll be good.
I guess, silver.
Yes.
I guess Bruce didn't listen to Slip last week.
Yeah, well,
Bruce.
Can you talk?
I guess it's Dave.
Talk to Dave now.
Dave's not here, man.
Awesome. That's all you got to say.
We're using that as a soundbite later on.
Oh, yes.
So you know.
And then
that will be coming back.
They shake hands. Hogan's like, "Oh, no interference, and I'm not gonna fuck you," and shake my hand. And then they shake hands. Bischoff comes down and he's like, fuck you, Sting. And then Hogan hits Sting with a chair, and I knew it wouldn't fucking end clean. I fucking knew it. So yeah, the show ends with Hogan beating up Sting, and that was Impact. Not awful. I was kind of into it more than Raw, surprisingly enough. And I think they did a good lead into Bound for Glory. Like with Bully Ray and Anderson, I'm actually looking forward to that match. Which it's hard, that's unbelievable to say, but.
Did you want to move on to Bound for Glory? Or did you want to do that?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's talk about Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory is tomorrow, right?
Is tomorrow? Yes.
Yeah, it's in Philadelphia, and I'm not going.
All right. The current. You want to run down the card, or do you want to just go through each match and do our analysis and picks?
We can do the pick thing. Yeah, you got the list, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it right here. We'll start off with the tag team title match. Okay. It's Mexican America, which is Hernandez Anarquia and Hernandez.
Yes.
Against Inc.
Jesse
Neal, Shannon Moore,
they did a
with
cool
Christina Von Eerie.
They did a cool thing with that, where Inc. like tattooed, what's his name, Anarquia or whatever it is.
Anarquia, yes.
Yeah, that's a weird name. It looks like X-Pac. And they did a thing where they tattooed him, and I thought that was cool, and it kind of made me interested. And then this week on Impact, they did a little promo thing and a brawl, which brought out Christina Von Eerie. I'm looking for. I'm sure it'll be all right. If Hernandez can fucking chuck Shannon Moore through the crowd, that'd be fun. I see Inc. taking that one.
Inc. Okay.
Yeah. What about you? What do you see? I think they're ready to take the belts.
I would go with them as well.
Okay.
I'm going to go the other way.
Yeah? You think Mexican America is going to take it?
I'm going to say Mexican America
keeps it?
Based simply on the fact that I don't watch TNA.
Oh, alright. Deal.
Okay. Next up, the Knockouts Championship, which we alluded to earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Winter.
Okay.
Katrina Waters.
Right, yes.
Mickey James, Velvet Sky, Madison Rain.
Okay. Just the way they've been doing this whole Velvet Sky thing, I think they're going to give it to Velvet, but...
Velvet?
Yeah, Church. I think Velvet's taking it, but
that would make sense. But
I want
TNA, and they don't do making sense. So I'm going to go with Winter.
I would be okay with Winter winning too because I like her title reign. I like her whole character.
As much as I want to say Madison Rayne, because in my opinion, Madison Rayne is the best of those four.
Big fan of her.
Madison Rayne is great.
Yeah.
I see some Winters. I see some Madison Raynes in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Madison Rayne via Screwjob. I'm interested to see why you think that, Ephraim Benito. I have to say Mickie James. It's just the fact that they always end up with, it's TNA, so the WWE person's going to end up getting the belt.
I really hope that's not. I feel like
not.
The reason I'm going to Velvet Sky is because I think, because it's a big show, they're gonna. And I'm hoping that they'll go. And, I'm hoping that they'll go with Velvet Sky only because it makes sense. It makes sense because that's what they've been hyping her as doing. So, I'm not a fan of her, but it makes sense. So,
Alright, X Division Championship match. Austin Aries defending against Brian Kendrick, and what I am calling right now the show-stealing match of the show.
I hope
Absolutely.
I hope Aries keeps the belt. I'm a fan of Kendrick, but I want Aries to keep the belt.
This match is going to steal the show.
It's going to be fucking awesome. But
I guess I'll go with Aries too.
Yeah.
for no real reason.
Good.
I am also going to go with Austin Aries because he is the best. He is the greatest man that ever lived.
He is. He is the greatest man that ever lived. All right. What's up next?
All right. Triple threat match: Samoa Joe, Crimson, and Matt Morgan.
Now this match was made on Impact. It was Joe versus Matt Morgan. Matt Morgan won, and then Joe was beating the fuck out of Matt Morgan. Crimson comes in for the save, and then Joe gets on the mic. He's like, "Oh, you guys are a bunch of pussies. You guys should stop being buddy-buddy. And if you're real men, you'll have this triple threat match at the pay-per-view." It was kind of weird. But
everyone is saying Crimson.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the way it's going to go. Too.
I think, would say Crimson too, but I actually don't care about any of them winning. So,
I think Crimson will probably go over Matt Morgan as well. That's what I'm thinking. I think he'll.
As much as I want to say no one is going to win this match, especially the fans.
Yeah.
Crimson, because that's what they're pushing for.
Okay. Next up.
I Quit match: AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels.
I'm looking forward to that. They've had a million matches, and I'm looking forward to it. AJ had an awesome. I thought it was awesome. Fucking I Quit match with Tommy Dreamer. So I'm expecting them to fucking trump that one. I think AJ's gonna take it. I think it'll be the end of the feud, and I think AJ will take it.
A lot of AJs in the crowd too.
Yeah. What about you, LT?
Fuck it. I'll say AJ, but I think realistically, fans win.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if there's a face or a heel necessarily in this. Again, I don't watch. But I think Christopher Daniels.
Daniels is the heel, I believe. He's been provoking AJ to have more matches.
Oh, the one more match. Okay, I remember reading that now. But I think Christopher Daniels is going to do something real shady, real shifty, real shitty.
Yeah.
Like something, because it's an I Quit match, just something real gimmicky.
Yeah.
And win.
Okay.
Falls Count Anywhere: Mr. Anderson versus Bully Ray.
I'm actually really looking forward to that match. I really am. It might just because I'm on the fucking Bully Ray train or something, but I really think they're gonna beat the piss out of each other, and it's gonna be a fun match. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be biased. I want Bully Ray to win the match, and I don't care otherwise. Regardless if it makes sense or not, I want Bully Ray to win.
I don't particularly care either way. I'm gonna say Bully Ray because I think maybe he is the one that perhaps they are gonna want to build up storyline wise.
Yeah.
Because Anderson's already sort of there,
What's that?
Where's the pay-per-view at again?
Philly.
Which one of these guys is really over in Philly?
Is Anderson over anywhere though?
Good point.
He's over in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
So my pick is Mr. Anderson.
Just okay, I got you. That makes sense.
just because it's going to be the big fuck you to the fans. Yeah. That's all TNA's about.
But then again, they did a thing with Bully Ray saying that he doesn't he said to fuck Philly in a promo, and he's from New York, so it could be either way.
Full Metal Mayhem, the gimmicky match I was referring to earlier.
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn. By the way, Cindy said she's going to end you for picking against Mr. Anderson. I'm her favorite now.
I'll have to say RVD is going to take it. I don't see them going past this pay-per-view with this match. So
I don't particularly care, so I'm going to flip a coin.
Blinky77 says RDV is going to win.
RDV? Alright. Good shit. Who, LT? Who did you say?
Brand new shirt.
Who won the coin flip?
Jerry Lynn.
Alright, Jerry Lynn.
Who'd you say, Johnny?
I said RVD is going to take it.
Okay. I'm going to say RVD as well.
Okay.
Just because it just seems like what they do.
I don't think that feud will go past that pay-per-view.
Now, I took this off the official Bound for Glory website.
Uh-huh.
And this is exactly because all the rest of them say Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn, Mr. Anderson versus Bully Ray.
Right.
Hulk Hogan fights Sting.
That's the thing they've kind of been pushing. That Hogan is retired, but he's fighting Sting. I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah, I think. Well, that's probably.
See, we know this is gonna be shit.
Yeah, I think it's because they know they cannot possibly advertise this as going to be anything close to a wrestling match.
Yeah. Sting wins.
Hogan's barely mobile. Let's not forget that.
Sting's taking it.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying because everyone's going to start yelling at me. So, moving on.
Don't put yourself over, Slip. Jesus.
Fuck you.
Slip wins, lol.
The main event, TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. Kurt Angle defends against Bobby Roode.
That's a fucking tough one. I don't know if Roode's ready, but I'm ready to have a new champ. If you get what I mean.
Maybe that's all the justification that's needed. So... Personally, I'll side with Roode.
I think.
So you're going through it as well, Johnny?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna go with Roode.
I'm calling the Dusty finish because that's what the TNA is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Storm comes down. He's gonna screw Roode. Kurt Angle wins.
Yeah.
All right. That's TNA. And I say Bobby Higgins. I agree with you on that.
So yeah. So I believe our last. Piece of wrestling show business is SmackDown this week.
Mm-hmm.
Opened with a battle.
SmackDown was actually pretty good this week.
Yeah, and let us point out that this episode of SmackDown this week made SmackDown the second longest running weekly episodic TV show in history with 634 episodes.
Second only to Raw, which has 958.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's really that's fucking cool as hell, really.
Basically.
Opened with a big fucking battle royal.
41 men.
That's even bigger than Royal Rumble, really. That's the biggest
That's
ever.
the biggest battle royal in WWE history. In fact, yeah, as you said, even including the Royal Rumble, it's the biggest battle royal variation in WWE history.
Yeah.
Now, it's not the biggest one in history, obviously. World War III, stuff like that.
I thought you meant the war. I was like, what?
Yeah, for a second there I was like, what the
WCW World War III.
Yes.
But
in WWE history, at least.
Yeah.
And if anyone has heard me talk about Battle Royals and Royal Rumbles before, I'm a huge fucking mark for them. I love them. But the funny thing, and me and LT talked about this, it wasn't Royal Rumble style where, they come out at, 3-minute intervals or whatever that is. They all came to the ring together. And they all crammed into the ring at one time, and there was no fucking room. And, when everyone got in the ring, you could see Regal in the middle freaking the fuck out because he couldn't find a way out.
It took them 20 minutes to reach a point where it was slightly less of a clusterfuck.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was still difficult to watch them because there was so much going on. This is why... I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, it was cool, and I like Battle Royals too. Mm-hmm. But this is why you don't have a 41-man Battle Royal. Except for the fact they're going to do another one in a few months, but more on that later.
It ended with Miz and Orton on the apron, RKO on the apron, and Miz hitting the ground first. I didn't like the idea of Orton winning because, Miz, and I just not big on
Randy Orton.
Exactly. But I think the way they did it, I was cool with it. I think it was a cool finish. And then Orton cut as usual. Randy Orton and Mark Henry, you suck, and shit like that.
Vengeance.
One thing I want to mention. One thing I need to mention about the Battle Royal. I wonder if Jack Swagger feels bad for breaking into Kurt Angle's house and stealing his gear. I wonder if that ever crossed his mind that,
It
not
astonished
nice to
me
do.
the other night when I saw it for the first time, the red and blue gear.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he looks like he's Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
And then last night I noticed he's got the letter A on his back. Why is that there?
All American.
I wonder. Yeah,
I know, but
yeah.
what?
I
Nobody's
would-
gonna make that connection except for us.
Like, I wonder if anyone really mentioned to
America.
him that, like, hey, this looks like another guy's fucking thing.
In America.
Yes. Randy Orton thing, and then Beth versus Kelly for the belts. Beth wins clean. I don't know why they couldn't have just did that at the pay-per-view. I mean, I was trying to think of it. I was like, okay, so she didn't win at the pay-per-view, right? She won at the pay-per-view, but didn't go over clean.
It wasn't clean. Yeah.
It wasn't clean. So they do it on. I was like, okay, that's just set up Kelly for another title shot. So they give her the title shot on SmackDown, and then she loses clean. So like, why the fuck give her another one? But then I remembered Beth lost twice clean before she won the third time. So it's like, come on, wrestling, fucking makes sense to me, you fucks.
The thing
That'd
is,
be a
like,
first.
the crowd couldn't have been less into the match if they tried.
Yeah.
It was a pretty average sort of match, only slightly longer than the normal 2-minute Divas fare.
Mhm.
Beth won. I was actually quite surprised Kelly didn't win with a last-second roll-up. Glad that she didn't, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I think now, due to Kelly already having had her rematch, I think we are likely to see Beth versus Eve, which I don't think one person is going to say will be any better.
Yeah, Night Jumper says it was fairly clean, not entirely clean. Yeah, it was. I think Natalia just fucking bumped her with the mic, and but it's still the point of it.
Like, I mean, for anyone who might, no matter what you might think about Kelly, no matter how much you think she may or may not have improved in the ring,
Right.
Eve, I don't think anybody's going to defend her in the ring. So inevitably, she's going to have some terrible matches in the next couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah.
So Joe Mo says they're on autopilot until Karma comes back. That's,
Really?
that's
I
actually
get
a
that
very
feeling.
good
That makes
point,
sense.
because
I get
they
that
put
feeling.
so much into that angle.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like that's where the Divas of Doom thing was going, but then Karma's not there, so they're like, oh, no, I meant the pay-per-view match was the clean one. Yeah,
What
not clean
even
one, excuse me.
happened
The
to
SmackDown one was clean.
the
yes.
other heel divas? Because the Bella Twins and Tamina and
Tamina was
Rosa
on Raw.
Mendez were being like real heel bitches, and now
Yeah.
they just disappeared.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tamina and Rosa were on Raw, right, in that tag match, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but that that was just to feed them to fucking Kelly and Eve.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really bummed out about the Divas of Doom thing. I don't really. I hope somehow, some way they'll salvage it, but at the moment, And then there was an awesome fucking thing between the Sin Caras. Fucking Sin Cara Negro fucking beats the fuck out of Sin Cara Azul and takes his mask and then replaces his own with it. And is like, haha, I'm Sin Cara for real now. It was just, and there was
And then he got the lighting when the real Sin Cara did.
yeah, exactly. And it was a hilarious fucking thing on commentary. LT, I'll let you do this in your Booker T voice.
Well, after having watched Sin Cara Negro beat the holy shit out of Sin Cara Azul gets like tons of medical attention to him. It honestly shocked me when Negro yanked the mask off.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, he took the mask.
Yeah.
He walks out to the ring, he's got the mask on, and Josh Matthews, he's just making a point for the sake of storyline continuity. He just said, okay, guys, are we all in agreement now that Sin Cara Azul is the original Sin Cara? And then Booker T responds, no.
That's flat out all he said was no. And then it was like, okay, whatever. Another guy that we wanted to bring up that really kind of has fallen off from... I mean, he wasn't a big-time player or anything, but he was in a big group. Justin Gabriel, a guy that I expected to break out from the Nexus or the Core or whatever it was and become, like a fan, a guy that the fans love, and he just ended up being, fed to everybody.
It's sort of... It's like they forgot they were going to push him or something, because for weeks on end they were showing... all the hype videos of like when he was in South Africa and he'd be doing all the media appearances in all the magazines, and he was like, oh, Justin Gabriel, big South African superstar.
Exactly.
And then he comes back and he just jobs consistently. And
it's weird.
I don't get it. And the thing is, I think people want to like him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they really wanted to turn him good, because like they made sure that in one of those video packages he said, yeah, I've done a lot of things that I'm not very proud of, but I want to sort of win the support of the fans, you know, something to that effect.
Right.
And it's like, well, what's going on with that then?
Yeah, it's weird. And then they had a fun little match and all. And then moving on, Sheamus. We love Sheamus, as all of you know.
Absolutely.
But the nickname The Great White is fucking awful. I mean, I know, for most people it's not like a racist thing, and, that's where we go because we're stupid. But, like, The Great White just sounds fucking awful. Like, they might as well just call him the fucking Grand Dragon and just say it's fine. Like, to call him that.
Like, I was watching last night, I was like, oh, they've changed Sheamus' Titantron. And they've changed his Bannertron.
Yeah.
And they've changed his miniature. Oh, God. It just says, The Great White, Sheamus.
Yeah, exactly. And I told LT the Grand Dragon thing, and he shit himself laughing about it. It was just... yeah, that's what made us bring this up, because it was on his fucking Tron. It's like, Jesus. Like, come on with that shit.
And then he did one of his Sheamus story time promos.
Yeah.
And then he was on about this big white bull that like attacked I don't know, like a black troll or something. Yeah. I don't know. It's like, why are you being racist? I don't get it. Stop it. I don't like that.
Falcon X9K says he's not just a good white, he's a great white.
Hey, and in the words of Chavo, if it ain't white, it ain't right.
So,
well, see, Sheamus died. He was Sheamus the Grey.
Well, he fucking definitely did die, because you've seen how ginger his hair is lately?
Seriously.
No way is that not from a bottle.
Seriously. So what about the Christian Sheamus feud? What do you think? I don't necessarily dislike it, and I enjoy it, but I don't know where the hell it's going.
Yeah, like we mentioned like earlier on tonight, it's just it's something that's there. It's okay, but I do feel as though maybe both guys could be doing something better.
Right. I mean,
no, and that's not because either one of them sucks, because I like them both. It's just the storyline is sort of like very average, and there's not a lot there to it.
Right.
I think it may kick into another gear now, because Christian really fucked Sheamus over last night.
Right.
But until now, it's just been pretty average.
Another thing, it's just, I mean, and I do think they can have good matches and all, and I do think they can do a lot of cool stuff, but without, the real story there, like, I think it was Christian being pissed at Sheamus for fucking him out of the title or whatever, and that was cool, but there's only, so far you can take that.
The thing is, as well, for the last couple of weeks, Christian and Sheamus haven't really crossed paths that much, because Christian's mostly been involved with the Big Hale stable, and, been trying to take Triple H out.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like Christian's got two storylines running at the same time, and they don't always overlap.
I mean, speaking of people with a lot of storylines, fucking CM Punk's feuding with everyone. I'm waiting till the day, he fucking fights a dude at Starbucks for fucking up his coffee, and, CM Punk and Mocha Man fucking main event WrestleMania this year.
That's after Hornswoggle and Zombie.
Yes, exactly. SmackDown has these fucking awesome custom name bars, by the way. I've been enjoying these for a while, and I really wish Raw would use these. Like, they have, Zack Ryder has them, and, everyone on SmackDown really has it. It's a cool little, it's nothing major, but it's a cool little thing to put on the screen, have custom name bars like that. It's fucking awesome.
I genuinely don't get why Raw doesn't do them, because it can only take them like 5 minutes to knock up in whatever computer program they're using.
Yeah.
And it just adds so much character to them.
Right, exactly. It's great.
It's like with the, when they show what matches are coming up next, some characters have different things on that screen, like, I think Santino's got the Italian flag whenever he appears on SmackDown, Kane's got fire, of course, Orton's got a fucking snake.
Yeah.
There's a couple others, but mostly, admittedly, those are just blue for SmackDown. But like the name bars are great, and Mark Henry on his name bar is just like got a really average, traditional-looking dumbbell on it. It's like, oh, he's strong. Okay, I remember that.
Strong man. Yeah, exactly. Now, something I was thinking was going to happen earlier this year that didn't. The tag team of Swagger and Ziggler has really, like, I'm a big fan of both of them, so obviously as a tag team I'm going to be a fan of them, but I was expecting them to feud. Do you think that they're going to hold that off for a while? Do you think they'll ever really feud, or is that inevitable? And which one of them would be face? I would assume Swagger, but who knows how that could really go?
I think the feud between them will be the thing that turns one of them face. Which one, I don't know.
Yeah. I think Swagger might be good as a face.
Although, to be fair, I think Ziggler might be good as a face. Although I do agree Swagger will be good as a face. Swagger will be very easy to turn face.
I think the only reason why I would want Swagger to not turn face is because I would want him to stay with Vicky so Vicky can talk for him.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Otherwise, I'd be cool. Ziggler's fucking awesome. He probably would be a good face, and I'm sure he could be likable, but I think the stuff he does as a heel is fucking great, so I really don't want him to turn anytime soon. But
Swagger could easily work either way. In fact, isn't that exactly why they got rid of the Eagle? Because people were starting to cheer him?
Probably. It was probably something like that. Another small tidbit that I wanted to point out. Josh Matthews mentioned something like about "Are you serious, bro?" Trending on Twitter. How the fuck does Josh Matthews know what's trending on Twitter on Friday when SmackDown is on Tuesday? Josh Matthews, you are a lying asshole. You're a douche, and I'm pissed. So anyway, and last but not least, the show ends with Big Show and Randy Orton killing everyone. Why the fuck is Big Show getting a title shot?
Because he can't put on his pants.
You feel they feel bad for him that much?
Yeah.
You're just gonna...
They figured if he had a belt, maybe he can put his pants on.
I mean, there's no way that he's gonna win, right? Like,
I hope not. The problem is, the last match the two of them had was fucking abysmal. Why would they put that as a main event match?
It's weird. All in all, I just want fucking Mark Henry to keep the belt. And that's really it. That's all. That's the end of it with the whole Big Show thing. Mark Henry needs to keep the belt, and that's it. I don't give a shit about Big Show. So that's all really. Oh yeah, he needs vengeance. I understand. I understand from the feud point of view, but I don't know. Like, what did he really do to fucking get a title shot? Really, other than be angry at Mark Henry.
Nothing.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah.
He got a title shot the night he came back.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
It's weird,
you know.
But
Carlito got a U.S. title shot the night.
Mark Henry even came out and he was like,
yeah,
let me get you up to speed here. Shit has changed. I'm in control. Get the fuck out my face. That's pretty much what Mark Henry said, and like they should have followed through on that. Big Show should have been back of the queue.
Yep.
But no. Although, at least it's not another Randy Orton title match, I will say that much.
I mean, you know, different is better, but I don't know if this is the kind of different I was wanting. So that's it for SmackDown this week. And one last tidbit before we get into this week and wrestling history. And I know LT specifically will enjoy this. Jim Ross headed to WWE headquarters next week for another Legends Roundtable filming. He'll be joined by DDP, Michael Hayes, and Roddy Piper. I know LT's been loving these fucking things, so...
If you've never seen Legends of Wrestling Roundtable on WWE 24/7, just download them or watch them on YouTube. They're so great. And the fact DDP's going to be on the show, that's great.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder what they're going to do an episode about. Presumably something WCW centric.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them. I'm a fan of them. So if you haven't seen these Legends of Wrestling Roundtables, guys, go out of your way to find them. I'm sure they might be on your YouTube or whatever LT's joke last week.
It's pretty much big legendary names in WWE, WCW, or ECW, just generally gathering around, bullshitting about times past, and reminiscing on awesome things, and it's great.
All right, so Slip, give us the wrestling news for this week.
All right, this week in wrestling history.
Yeah, buddy.
First, we're going to start the birthdays, and then we'll go back and do deaths, sadly, and then we'll do the events. Okay, October 10th. Someone I've never heard of, the Giant Haystack.
LT would know about him.
He's a legendary British wrestler.
There you go.
He was born October 10th, 1946.
All right.
October 11th, Taz.
Big fucking penguin.
Not quite so big.
Yeah, maybe not.
October 12th, Rodney Mack. 1973.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stan the Lariat Hansen.
Yeah, buddy.
1949, and Dusty Rhodes, The American Dream, 1945.
Oh, yeah. That's a good day.
It's a good day. I mean, Rodney Mack's weighing it down a little bit. But,
yes, of course.
October 13th, Killer Kowalski was born in 1926.
Jesus.
October 14th, Nikolai Volkov.
Nice.
And Stacy Keibler.
Okay, fine.
No one was born on the 15th.
No one ever.
No one ever. Ever.
It's an anomaly.
Yeah.
October 16th, Just Incredible.
Nice. I'm a fan.
Deaths.
Okay.
October 12th, going back in 1983, the Grand Wizard
I haven't seen much of him, so I can't really comment. But
died of heart failure.
That sucks.
October 13th, Captain Lou Albano died.
That fucking sucks.
Yes. No one died until the 16th. October 16th, legendary name, Stu Hart.
Yeah, and I was surprised by the date on that. 2003. I thought he had died. I thought he died before that. So there you go.
Yeah. Going back and random events that's happened. October 12th. Bound for Glory, 2008.
Yeah.
That was the Sting versus Samoa Joe event.
Oh yeah, Sting won the belt from or retained. I don't know if Joe had the belt or not, but another one of the shows that Sting main evented for the belt. So yeah.
Of course. On October 10th, going back to Monday.
Okay.
If anyone watches Botchamania,
I'm sure.
If anyone's seen the Jake the Snake Roberts promo,
you want to play 21?
21.
Yeah.
That was October 10th.
Wow, that piece of shit was on October 10th.
The worst wrestling event in history.
Ever has.
All right.
Let's see here. Sorry, I got all this mixed up.
No, that's cool.
October 14th.
Yes.
An event more commonly associated with the summer. King of the Ring, October 14th, 1989.
Wow.
Tito Santana defeated Rick Martel in the main event to become King of the Ring.
Nice.
Arriba!
And also another Bound for Glory. It was Sting defeating Kurt Angle.
Oh, Sting again winning the fucking belt at Bound for Glory, huh?
I missed on October 15th, Joey Maggs died in 2007.
Yeah, he was a WCW Smoky Mountain guy. I think he was in like one WWF match or maybe a couple more than that.
I missed that one, sorry.
That's cool.
Yeah, everyone's screaming 10, 10, 10 at me. So yeah, that happened too. 10, 10, 10.
Well, fuck you guys. We didn't want to mention that.
That was not in my notes. And then October 16th, King of the Ring 1998. 1988,
yes.
Excuse me. Ted DiBiase defeat the Macho Man.
Yeah.
And the most recent event I have on here, 2004, CM Punk Samoa Joe.
Wow.
Part 2, 60-minute draw. It was the first match to get a 5-star rating from the Wrestling Observer that does not feature Japanese wrestlers since 1997.
It's in America.
Yes. And that leads me to my wrestling history trivia question of the week.
All right.
Little new thing.
Let's do it.
I want the people in the crowd to participate. I want you two to answer it too, because I didn't tell either one of you the question.
I know.
All right.
I couldn't even get it out of them. I was pissed.
Since it's the first one since 1997, in 1997 there was 2 matches in the WWF that got 5-star ratings. Name them.
I know one. Do we want to wait for the viewers to say first, or
to get a few answers in?
All right, we'll check that out. I know one.
I'm fairly sure I know what one of them is.
I can't think of another though. I've already seen someone mention the one that I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I'll just say it already. I know Taker
Austin, Taker and Sean in
Hell in a Cell,
Cell.
right? The first Hell in a Cell, right?
Mm-hmm. That is.
Wow, I really don't know the other one. People are saying Austin.
I've seen it in the chat.
People are saying Austin Brett. Is that it?
That is it.
Wow. Okay. Nice. Was that the I Quit one?
What?
Was that the one?
That was the WrestleMania match.
Yeah, where Austin fucking bled and shit. Is that one?
Yes.
Nice.
One where he passed out before.
Yeah,
that's
fucking awesome.
The Ghost of John got the Hell in a Cell first, and Blinky77 was the first one to mention Austin Brett.
And am I correct in thinking that that would be the last time WWF/E would get a 5-star match until this year?
Yeah. Probably because Punk.
Hold on a second.
It might be actually. I know Cena Punk is obviously the one.
Cena Punk got a 5-star match for Money in the Bank, and rightly so.
Yeah. So
now it's gone.
We can I guess we can wrap up the show now with the giveaway.
Oh yeah.
Let's do this fucking giveaway for this DVD you see on your screen. We're gonna give it away. LT, I think I'm gonna go with the number you gave me earlier.
Okay.
So we're gonna do it this.
I'm glad because Slip gave you a fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna do a game of. I'm thinking of a number. We're gonna put. So all right, guys, I'm gonna give you a second. Do not type in the chat right now, so I can put this chat in slow mode. If you type in it, obviously you'll get fucked. So if you know the answer and it said, oh, you gotta wait for this long, don't type it yet, please. Do not type it yet. I'm gonna put it in slow mode, and then we're gonna. I'll let you guys know. I'm thinking of a number. So I believe that's it. Okay. Let's take a couple seconds. All right, and Go.
I don't remember the number.
I do. Thankfully.
This is going to be like on that.
Whoa, hello.
This is going to be like on that episode of Futurama where they do a countdown to the electric chair and it's a random number.
LT, what's the number? What's the number in Skype?
Type it in the chat in Skype, yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
Neither have I.
Keep them coming.
Well, they can't because they're all timed out right now for a minute.
It's much easier this way because I wouldn't be able to see a fucking thing if it wasn't like this. Nope, still haven't got it yet. Well, this is surprising.
You want to limit it?
Yeah, should we limit the number?
Because they're going all over the place.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go 1 to 20.
Yeah.
Well, now they're definitely gonna get it.
I don't think they are. Between 1 and 20. I want to fucking